This video is brought to you in association with Kitchich Toys, the UK's home for retro and vintage toys.
Alright folks, Rick Wall came back again, and soon Doctor Who will be too. As such, here we are with a whole load of Doctor Who related top 10s. Up until October, it's going to be all Doctor Who in the top 10s. Now, I know we Whovians are known for our rational thought and debate, so I don't have any worry that this could be a divisive subject, because we're talking my top 10 Doctor Companion pairings. Not my favourite Doctor or my favourite companion, but how well they work together. This is drawn from All Who, classic series, New Who, novels, comics and audios. So if you're expecting 10th and Rose as number 1, you will be sadly disappointed. Having said that, let's jump in. Honourable mention, 7th Doctor and Chris Quedge. We're starting this with a pairing from the New Adventures novels. I came to those novels very late, and by that time, this was the duo working from the TARDIS. They seemed an unusual team, but well worth checking out. Notable stories, Eternity Weeps, and Room with No Doors. Number 10, 6th Doctor and Evelyn Smythe. Jumping over to Big Finish and the redemption of the 6th Doctor. Not that I felt he needed to be redeemed, he just needed some better stories. He gets them in droves with Big Finish, many of them alongside this history professor. And she doesn't take any crap from him either. Notable works, Arrangements of War and 100. Number 9, the First Doctor and Susan. I had to include this duo, their iconic part of the show, and essentially defined who the Doctor was in those early years. Now, technically we never saw them travelling together, just the two of them, at least not on screen, which is why frankly I couldn't put them higher in this list. But they are still a very important duo. Notable stories, An Unearthly Child and The Censorites. Number 8, the 6th Doctor and Frobisher. Another reason the 6th Doctor doesn't need redemption. From day one, even before he played the Doctor on screen, he gets some great stories alongside a wisecracking, shape-shifting detective that talked like a film noir star. Oh yeah, and he just happened to be a penguin. Notable stories, Shapeshifter, The Age of Chaos. 7, 8th Doctor and Izzy Sinclair. Staying with the comics here, and we're going with what is supposed to be the first LGBT companion. Not only that, but she's a resourceful sci-fi geek chic character that can match the Doctor in almost every way, and also turns into a fish at one point. Notable stories, Wormwood, Ophidius. 6, 2nd Doctor and Jamie McCrimmon. An almost totally inseparable pair. They defined the late 60s and in many ways defined what Doctor Who was meant to be. They had such a great relationship both on screen and off. Such a shame so many of their stories are missing. Notable stories, still in the archive, The Mind Robber and The War Games. Number 5, 11th Doctor and Amy Pond. The only pairing from New Who to make my list, and yeah, it's a top pair. Okay, so she's a bit of a victim of Moffat female character syndrome, but still, she's a great foil for this particular Doctor, and they really seem to have such affection for one another. Also get some really weepy moments too. Notable stories, Vincent and the Doctor, Angels Take Manhattan. 4, 3rd Doctor and Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. Another era-defining pair. The man of action and the soldier. This was the 70s stories in its purest form, one of the most iconic pairings in the show's history. One that can still be felt in the show to this very day. And it's not many pairings that can say that. Notable stories, Spearhead from Space, Doctor Who and the Silurians. Number 3, 4th Doctor and Romana. A very special pairing this, as the two of them got married in real life. Didn't last long though. Still, the chemistry shined through on screen, making this one of the most amazing pairings. Also one of the few times the Doctor gets along with a fellow Time Lord. Notable stories: Destiny of the Daleks, City of Death. Number 2, Fifth Doctor and Nyssa. Okay, so this is my favourite companion and my second favourite Doctor. This was always going to make the list. A pair of incredible minds working together to solve problems. They make a great team. Always mostly left a big finish to show this. Notable stories: Arc of Infinity, Circular Time. Number 1, Seventh Doctor and Ace. Okay, if you know me, this was probably kind of obvious. He's my favourite Doctor, she's my second favourite companion, and this is one of the most unique pairings in the show's history. The Doctor's her mentor, training her up. She also gets more development than any other companion. Doesn't hurt that they were the pair I watched when I was 7, when I was first getting into the show. Notable stories: Ghostlight, Survival. So, there's my list. If you agree, disagree, maybe you're baying for my blood, wondering how I could have left off your favourites. Tell me who they are in the comments below. Subscribe for more, and until next time, see thee.